What's up, small business owners, and welcome to our course on starting your first email marketing campaign. So for years, email marketing has given people the highest ROI for business owners to get sales and grow their business. But so many people and small business owners especially aren't using email marketing at all or not using it effectively. So if you're relying solely on word of mouth or social media, then you're leaving money on the table. And so in this training, I am going to show you how to do an email marketing campaign. We're going to talk about autoresponders. We're going to talk about list building strategies and how to get more subscribers. We're going to talk about creating that first email marketing campaign. We're going to talk about some more advanced automation things that you can do. And then we're going to talk about how to make those all that stuff run faster with some new tools. But before we begin, my name's Josh from the University of La Verne Small Business Development Center. And here at the SBDC, we help small businesses start and grow. And we do that in a couple of different ways. We do that either through one-on-one consulting or through workshops and free resources just like this one for the small business community. If at the end of this session you need some personal one-on-one consulting help with an advisor and you're watching this via Zoom, you're already a client. So all you need to do is just give us a call and we will schedule an appointment for you as soon as possible at your earliest convenience so you can meet with somebody. But if you are not watching this on Zoom and you're watching this from somewhere else like YouTube or something on social, then we'll talk about how you can become a client and get help with your business. So with all that out of the way, let's talk about our first thing, which is going to be an autoresponder. And this is the software that you're going to need to get started. But what exactly is an autoresponder? Well, an autoresponder is a tool that sets up and sends emails to multiple recipients after they perform a specific action. That's literally it. That's all it does, is it sends out emails. Now you can do more advanced things like setting up triggers and all that other stuff. We'll talk about that. But all it does is send out emails, mass emails, all at the same time. You don't want to get caught doing spam emails, and so it helps with that. So there are a couple of different autoresponding tools. There's actually a whole host of them, like Aweber, Constant Contact, Klaviyo, Autoresponder, just a bunch of different things. But today we're going to talk about two specifically. We're going to talk about MailChimp, which most people have probably heard of. It was actually bought out by Intuit. And the other one is going to be called MailerLite. The first one, Intuit MailChimp, is the most popular of them all. And it gives you 500 contacts for free. All you need to do is sign up, and you can send out 500 emails per day or up to 1,000 per month. So if you have a full list, you can only send out 2 emails per month to do the little bit of math. And this is really good to really get started, but that's pretty much it. It's very simple and it's no frills. The other one, which is the one we're going to be demoing today, is called MailerLite. And it does a lot more stuff that we'll get into, but you get started with 1,000 contacts total. You can send out 12,000 emails. And it also comes up with some automations and some forms and some other things that we're going to take a look at so you can start building up your email list and sending out emails. So let's talk about how to build a list. So before we can actually send out emails, we need people to send them to, and this is called an email list. And so I'm going to show you a couple of list building strategies at different stages of your business, especially if you're just getting started or if you're building your list actively, how to actually do that. And we're going to do that in MailerLite. So first thing we're going to be doing is importing contacts. So if you have existing email contacts from, say, some customers, you invoice them, or you ship people things, or you just have customers that you normally contact through email, then these are the ones that you can actually load into your list. And so if you're already in business, you probably have these, and I'm going to show you how to upload them right now. So let's take a look at MailerLite. This is the autoresponder that we're going to be using, and it's really easy to upload contacts. It's really easy to upload any contacts to any autoresponder, but for this one, it's especially easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to subscribers here. And we only have one subscriber. This is the email address I started up this account with. So really easy. And all we're going to do is we're going to add subscribers. And so right here is going to be where we're going to put in our spreadsheet. And all you really need is a spreadsheet in what's called a CSV. You can basically just save it as a CSV format. Really, it's just a spreadsheet, and all you need is the email address, a first name and a last name. That's all we're going to be putting in here. You put it into that spreadsheet, and we're just going to load it. Let's take a look at this. Drag and drop. And I have, where is my list? It's going to be on my desktop, and it's import right here. So I imported. Oops, no. And we're going to import subscribers. And you see here, I've already imported 2 subscribers. We have email here, and then we're going to put in name and last name so we know what all this information is. And we're going to finish our import. And it's going to take a little while. And there we go. So we'll go back to subscribers. And now you'll see we have 3. That's it. That's all we're doing. All we need to do is load them up, and now we have an email list, and we can start building it from there. So the next thing we need to talk about is forms. Now, your list building strategy is going to be a little less than if you're just importing contacts all the time. You don't want to do that. You want to actively build those contacts and get people to sign themselves up. So you can automate this a little bit. And so what you'll need to do is you'll need to create some kind of form on your website that actually does that for you. And then you can name how many, where these contacts are going and how to do that. So let's actually do that. So we'll go back to MailerLite. And right here on the left-hand side is all my tools and everything that I would do. And so we're going to go to Forms. And you see I've already played around with a couple of these. Let's actually delete one because we don't really need it. We'll do this all over again, and then we'll create form. And so when we come to the forms, there are 3 different types of forms that you can do. There's what's called a pop-up form that you can set to pop up after a certain amount of time. Somebody joins or gets onto the web page. There's an embedded form that is basically stays in the same place on the web page all the time. And then there's one called a promotional form that gives you coupons and spin the wheel and all this kind of fancy stuff you probably have seen like on Temu or some other kinds of websites that are trying to sell you something. So for now, we're really going to just be doing a regular pop-up form, and we'll save and continue. And so we're going to pick a list, just the general list, whatever we have. It would be the same as yours. And so here we have all these different kinds of forms, and we're just going to do really something simple. So we're going to choose that. And this one is more like a promotional form, but so you could do this as a retail business. If you want it to pop up and they can get $20 off their first order, we can do that. We can set that up really easily. So all we really need to do is we'll add another field as a name And then we'll add another one as last name. So we have all that information. And that's pretty much it. That's the form. You can design it a little bit more. You can put in options and do all this other stuff, but that's as complicated as it needs to be, really. And so once we're done editing and we like what we see, we can go here. And now here we have the actual settings for it. So here we can wait 5 seconds before it actually pops up. It can show 50%. This shows like how it scrolls. And then if it doesn't work on mobile, you can do that. Frequency, how frequent the pop-up will come on for the same user. We can do it at, once a month is fine. It's not too frequent. And then right here, you can schedule when the pop-up will actually show up. If it's going to be during specific times like business hours, or if there's no schedule at all, we'll set that up and we'll save changes. And so when you're setting up a pop-up or any kind of form, you're going to get what's called this universal code. And this is basically what's called a JavaScript. You don't have to worry about that too much. What you might have to worry about is how it's going to get on your website. Now, Miller Lite doesn't really have a lot of information about how to do it for different platforms, but another email program that we do use for the SBDC called Constant Contact does. So let's go to our page here, and I will throw this into the chat and our links for the recording. But this is the information on how you install a universal code. And all you really need to do is find the form that you put it in and paste it in there. So let's find one. Let's do Shopify. We'll go with the retail route. So we have the universal code. We go to our online store, we customize, and we go to edit code and we put it in this section. That's it. You're copy and paste, super simple. And that's how it is for most website builders. So nothing too crazy. We don't have to worry about that too much. So let's move on. I know we got a lot of stuff. We need to move on quickly. Let me go back to our demo. If you want to see what an embedded form actually looks like, we have one here on our website. This is what our form looks like. Super simple. Email, first name, last name, and people will sign up and we will get their information. We will usually give them a call back, but they are now in our email list to get updates for all of our communications. And I'll show you what some of those communications actually look like when we show you our email marketing campaign. But let's go back to our slides. And we are not going to talk about what's called a lead magnet. Now, our final strategy is going to be a little bit more advanced, but in my opinion, it's probably going to be the most crucial thing you need to do if you want to attract leads and start actively building your list all the time. And so, like I said, it could really be advanced, but I'm going to show you what it actually looks like as far as the strategy. So if you're going to be doing a lead magnet, we're going to be starting with the actual lead magnet part of it. So what is that? It is a document or, like a worksheet, a checklist, anything that is of value that you create on, say, a Google Doc, a PDF, something on Canva, which we'll talk about. But you can build anything as long as it's valuable. You can create it and have somebody get it in exchange for their email. So once we create the lead magnet, and I'll show you what one actually looks like, what we're going to do is we're going to create what's called a landing page. It's a simple one-page website with some text and a sign-up form, just like the pop-up form. Nothing too complicated, and it's really, really easy. Once we create that form, then we'll create an email. Once they exchange their email for the lead magnet, they'll get an email that says, hey, thanks for signing up. and they'll also have the link to download. So let me show you what one actually looks like. So this is a very, very simple landing page with the lead magnet. And what the lead magnet is a government contracting decision checklist. So if you were in government contracting and you find an opportunity and you say, hey, I don't know if this is really good for my business, this checklist, you can run through it and it will help you calculate the opportunity and the likelihood of you actually applying for something like this. And so all you'll need to do is put in your name and your email, and you will actually get a link to download the actual checklist. Easy peasy. This took me maybe about 15 minutes to make, and we still get, subscribers from this who view the actual blog that this is a part of. So that's pretty much how that lead magnet is actually made and how it actually works. So I know I'm running through this a little fast. We'll slow down because there's a lot of other things when we go through the demo of creating your first campaign and doing some automations. But let's actually start doing the campaign. And so what is an email campaign? Well, an email campaign is simply a single email that you send out to your contacts on your email list. That's it. That's a single email campaign. Now, it can be a part of your contacts, known as a segment or a list, or it can be something else. Now, that's what an email campaign is. The next thing we need to talk about is what exactly are you sending? So what we'll do is we can send a newsletter, you can do an update, you can do a press release, you can promote a blog post, or a coupon code or a promotional product, anything. Whatever you think that your readers will actually be interested in is what you should be communicating. It can honestly it really can be anything, and I'll show you what one looks like. We've done a bunch of campaigns every week or every other week, so we'll show you what that actually looks like. And the last thing you actually need to think about is going to be what that's called cadence. Now, if you're any kind of musical person, you probably know what cadence is. It's going to be the frequency of the beat. And so it's the same thing. What is the frequency of the amount of emails you're going to be sending? And is it something you can actually sustain? Right now, what we do one email marketing or one email campaign for our newsletter twice a month, every other week. And so in between our workshops that we're doing like this one today. And so we're doing all of that constantly, but we're actually planning this stuff out way in advance. So we need to make sure that we are actually sustainable, and it's actually fairly sustainable from my end because I'm doing all this stuff. But let's actually go through a demo of how to actually create an email marketing campaign. We're going to do a single campaign with a single email. So let's go back to our online demo, and let's go to our campaigns. And what we're doing, as I already kind of played around with this, is we're going to create a newsletter campaign. We're going to create this one right here. So let's delete that for a second. And we're going to create a campaign here. And so there are different kinds. So we're going to do the regular one, because a regular campaign is just sending out a single email. You can do what's called an A/B split, so you can test things. An RSS one is if you're creating a blog, it'll automatically get sent out as an email to your subscribers. That's a little bit more advanced. And then there's an auto resend where you can send one time and then it'll resend after a certain amount of days. Constant Contact does that as well, and I'll show you how that actually works. And then there's another multivariate campaigns, and that's way advanced where you're doing multiple variables of everything. We're just going to do a regular campaign for now. We're going to do a news letter here. our subject, we're just going to make a basic subject here. So it's like a check out our new newsletter. Let's do article, new article. This is the business I'm sending it from. Here's my sending email pre-header. You don't always have to have those. Don't worry about that. And then we're going to select recipients. We're going to do all active subscribers because that's who we have in our list. And then we're going to go to our content. Now, you can create your email however you want. Most email autoresponders will have some kind of editor. Some of them use Canva, which you can, and we'll get into that a little bit later. We're just going to use the drag and drop editor. It's going to be really, really easy. So here it actually sets up. And right now, here's some links to things. We're not going to need these. And so what we'll do is we will set up our email. And like Sean usually says, when it comes to marketing, you need a picture, a paragraph, and a call to action. And that's basically what we're going to be doing. So we have our picture here. And what we'll do is we'll replace the image because we want it to be really good. I already loaded an image, but you can do this from your whatever files you have on your computer. You'll just upload them and then we'll insert. So right here, our title will be the title of our article. And so we have our new article title here. And really it could be anything. It could be a headline. You can use some kind of AI tool to help you write this. We're not going to go that far yet. And then we have our paragraph. We can wordsmith this however we would like. In fact, let me go to, no, we don't. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go to learnworlds.com, and we actually do have a blog, so I'll pull some stuff from that. So we created an article on doing a capability statement. We'll do that real quick. So I'll take this title and we'll put it here as if we were creating the promotional. And then I usually do the first paragraph of our article. So I'll just take that here, copy, paste to this here, and then we'll link our, so say read me, and then we'll create a link. We'll grab this link here, and then we'll go here and paste. And that's it. A picture, paragraph, and the call to action that says read me. That's all we're doing. Super simple email. So then we'll be done editing. And it'll be thinking. And here we go. We have our email set up. Now, there are a couple of settings that we can do. We can either do send now, we can send it later, scheduling. That I recommend that you do that almost every single time. Just so, because you don't want to have to be by the computer waiting to press, send for an email that you could have done that, set it and forget it type of thing. And then you can also do it based on time zone if you have people from all over the country. We don't. Most of our people are going to be in California, so we're not going to worry about that. So that's pretty much it. This email is ready to send, and we would be done. Let me show you what an email that we send out actually looks like. So here we have our constant contact. I'm showing you MailerLite because MailerLite is easy to get started. It's free, and it does a little bit more than most places would without having to pay a lot. Constant Contact does that for us. Because it's the SBDC, this is what we use, so this is what we have. But for an email, let's take a look at our newsletter, the one I just did. And we'll set that up. And here we are. So let's preview that real quick. And like I said, a picture, the paragraph, and the call to action say view the guide. That's as complicated as it really needs to be. And that's all the stuff that you need to create your first email campaign. Now, this is not the end, and we'll talk about some more stuff. But let's go back to our information. So once you send out your emails, great. But analytics and measuring your success are going to be a big deal when it comes to email marketing. How do you know your emails are going to be moving the needle with your subscribers, with your new customers? Are you going to be making more sales? So let's talk about what you need to look at as far as analytics when it comes to email marketing. So the first thing you need to understand is sends. How many people are you actually sending on your list? Obviously, you want to be growing your list. Our list right now, I believe, is at 4,000 some odd people. And so you want to make sure that you are growing that list and you're actually sending out more emails. Obviously, you're going to be scheduling them, but you want to make sure that you're making all those connections and communications with your subscribers. The next thing is going to be opens. How many people are actually opening up that email? Are you making it so that they actually are opening it? Because if it just goes into somebody's junk, into their junk list, or their spam email, you haven't done anything. It's basically a wasted email. The next thing we need to talk about is clicks. So just like you saw on that demo that we did, you saw that there was that call to action. I expect people to click on that to go somewhere else. And so how many people click on that is going to be very valuable and a very good measure of success when it comes to your emails. The next thing is going to be bounces. And what a bounce is how many undeliverable emails there are. And we'll talk about what that actually looks like. But bounces sometimes are unavoidable. Some people are on vacation. Some people, may have away messages or they have a full email box. So sometimes those are unavoidable when it comes to that. Some of them, they've moved, email domains or they've gotten rid of their email account altogether. And so those ones you want to take a look at and you want to actually clean those out periodically to make sure that you're not wasting emails or wasting time. And then the last thing is going to be the heat map. Now, just as the clicks show you how many people have clicked, the heat map on Constant Contact and a lot of other email autoresponders will actually show you where they clicked. And so if we have multiple places and multiple calls to action, we can see which ones are resonating with those subscribers. So actually, let me take a look and we'll show you what that actually looks like. All right. So this is an email marketing campaign that we did on February 13th, and this was our newsletter. This is how we label things. It makes it really, really easy to find. But let's take a look at some of the analytics. Like I said, we have sends. Again, we send out 4,218 emails to people who are on our list. We have more people. Some of them we don't send to because they're in a special segment that we don't send anything to. The next thing was going to be opens. We have a 45.5% open rate. This means that we sent this many people emails, and this is how many people who opened. And then we do have what's called a resend campaign where we resend it to everybody again, and we pick up more opens and analytics from there as well. The other thing is going to be clicks. So we have a click rate of 1.2, which is actually really good. In fact, let's take a look at our analytics based on the industry. And so you can also find this information based on, online through Google, but we just happen to have it right here. So our segment would be a nonprofit service. And so our open rate average is going to be 39.84. That's good because ours was 45.5. So we've done better than the average, than the industry average. The other thing is going to be our click-through rate. That's going to be 1.32. We did 1.2. That's very respectable. We're in that range. We could do a little bit better, but that is very respectable for our type of emails. And then the other thing is going to be our bounce rate. Now, when we go back to our stuff here, our bounce rate was right here. So the bounce rate for the industry average was 10.5%. We're like at 2. It's almost nothing. So the higher the bounce rate, the worse you're doing. The lower the bounce rate, people are actually opening your emails and people are actually, staying consistent. They're not just flying away or unsubscribing, or there are not any problems. And so the last thing is going to be our heat map. So let's take a look. Where were people clicking on our latest email? And really, it's just going to be exactly where I thought they would for our guide. I always make this clickable, and I also make this clickable. People just like to click the pictures. That is a note that you probably want to have. Make the picture clickable, and also make the picture interesting so that people will click on it. This was done last week, so we also had people register for our for this webinar. So if you clicked on this and you registered, thank you very much. And then our next and for our next webinar, we also have clicks here. People registered here instead of clicking on the picture because the picture might be boring because numbers and calculations and things that people don't really like, but they registered for it anyway. And then we have multiple other trainings and other things that people will click on. So we know what is going to be interesting to them and to make it easier for people to actually sign up for things. So we're about halfway through. And now we're going to be talking about something that's going to be a little bit more advanced, and that's going to be what's called automations. And when it comes to automations, this is more of a interesting strategy, but you need to know it if you want to build your list actively. Like I said, pop-ups are great if you have website and traffic, but if you want to go beyond the traffic and not rely solely on your website to build your email list and something like that, you can actually do automations and grow that list exponentially. So let me show you how that actually works first before we start creating an automation. So the automation strategy is going to be 5 simple emails, and we're going to create what's called a delay. But the 5 simple emails are really, really simple. We're going to create a welcome email that basically says, hey, welcome for signing up, thanks, here's what we do. The next one is going to be a little bit more of an explainer email talking about what our services do. And then we're going to create another email specifically about our solutions or our benefits and how they actually benefit the customer or the lead, somebody who is looking to work with you who maybe hasn't yet. The next thing is going to be called a roadblocks email. Now we're going to be answering objections or some kind of roadblock that they may have. I don't really want to work with these people because I don't know them, but what are those questions and what are those roadblocks that they may have? You might be able to kind of alleviate that, what they call trepidation, or that uneasiness about working with somebody who is new. you can actually answer those questions and then hopefully get them closer to the finish line when it comes to having them be a client. And then finally, we're going to be showing some social proof in the way of a testimonial email or some kind of case study where you show how you helped people in the past. And it might actually resonate with them because this might be their exact situation. And so you want to actually communicate that to them so that they can actually start working with you. So let's go back to our demo. And so we're back here on the dashboard, the very first page. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down to what's called automations. I'm going to show you how to build a simple automation. And then I'm going to show you one that we actually use to get people into the SBDC. But here is our first automation. So we're going to create what's called the welcome one. Let's delete this because we won't need it anymore. We're going to create a new automation. And you can actually build ones from, from templates. Win back inactive subscribers, and there's a bunch of different automations that you can take advantage of. But we're going to build one from scratch because it's not that hard. So we're going to say, welcome nation. There we go. And this is what it looks like. So the first thing we need to understand is what are called triggers. Now, a trigger is how the sequence is started. So it could be when they sign up for one of your pop-up emails, it could be when they downloaded a lead magnet, or when they exchange their email for a coupon code. It really could be anything. But for now, we're going to talk about, we're going to start with the trigger is going to be when they subscribe to a specific list. Just a basic subscribe. They filled out a pop-up form or some kind of form on our website, and this is where it's going to start. And so we have our general email list that we've been working with the entire time. And then we're going to save. And now we can build the automation. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to build our email. And so our email is going to be the welcome email. And we're going to name that the first email. So you can actually go into each of these and you can start editing and designing this email. We're not going to get into that right now. I'm going to show you stuff that we've already designed. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have these emails designed already before you start doing the automation. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to be spending a lot of time on these, and then it's just going to take a lot of time. You want to have those emails already set up, so when you build this automation, you're just dragging and dropping things and creating this whole stuff, this whole sequence. So what we'll do is the email subject is going to be, welcome to our, say, our list. And it's going to be from my business, and this is my sender email, and then we'll save. And so what I mentioned before is I said we're going to build in the delay. You don't want to send all of these emails all at once. We want to build in one email, and then we're going to delay it 24 hours. And we're going to send another email the next day. So here we're going to set a delay for 1 day, 24 hours, and we'll save. And then we'll create another email. And then when I said this was our explainer, so welcome, this welcome to, and this is our explainer, so we know which email it is. Our subject line is here's what we do. And then again, we can design the email and then save. Again, we'll create another delay for 24 hours. And then we'll create another email. And really, we'll just be doing this on and on until we create all 5 emails. And then we can drag and drop into our email designs, and the automation will be complete. So without doing all of that and spending, a bunch of time on it, we'll save that. Actually, we'll cancel, save and close. And I'm going to show you what an actual email automation looks like. So we'll go back to Constant Contact because that's the one we use. And we have marketing, and we'll go down to automations just like we did for MailerLite. Now we can build a bunch of automations here, but we actually already have one built that we actually use. And so for us, it's going to be this welcome email drip campaign. And let's take a look at some of these emails, because like I said, it's really, really easy, and it actually follows this formula almost exactly. So here is our first email. This is our welcome, thanks for signing up for our newsletter. That's the one I said, oh, this is the welcome email. And we do, like I said at the beginning of this webinar, we help people start small businesses. We do it in a couple of different ways: free consulting, free training, and free resources. And that's pretty much it. In a nutshell, that's what we do, and that's what people are getting into. Next one here is a little bit more. This is our explainer. So this is how we actually do what we do. You can get some free trainings as well. And that's that email. Let's go back to third one. Third one was benefits. So we actually talk about how we've helped other people, and don't just take the word from us. Here are all of our 5-star reviews that tell us so. And so once you go through all of these, they're all exactly the same as what I showed you in the demo, or in the strategy. All of these emails are in this automation. So it's really not that hard. You don't have to get super creative with it, although you can. So it's really, really easy. It doesn't have to be rocket science when it comes to email marketing. And what I wanted to show you a little bit is, we know that this automation actually works is because there are certain places where it actually shows that people are waiting in what's called the queue. They're waiting in line to get the next email. And so we actually have one person waiting here. We have one person waiting here. So tomorrow they will get this email of our success stories. This is our roadblocks email. So, a lot of the things that people say, well, I don't know if I really want to work with the SBDC, even though we're free. They can see, oh, well, you've helped a lot of people. Look at all these people we've helped. And you can actually hear from them personally through videos. This is how we've helped them, and this is the situation that they had. Same thing with our, testimonials. We kind of smash those together. And then we also have a final email that says, hey, we won't send you any more stuff. You could just take a look at our newsletter, and we'll send them that. So that's automations. If you do need other help with that, you can always schedule an appointment to meet with a consultant, and we can kind of work through this and help you along the way. So our final section, yes, 15 minutes. Got 15 minutes left. Now we are going to work on some tools to make this process so much easier. And the first thing we're going to be talking about is mail charts. Now, mail charts is a little interesting because it's not what you think it is. So Mail Charts is an email marketing research company. They analyze, over 2,500 brands, and they basically see what works with people. It's easy and free to sign up for a free account, and you can get emails from them about how email marketing works. You can get some inspiration. You can see how they design their emails, things like that. They also have some email insights for specific brands, and we'll take a look at that. And they also have some automation journey examples. And the reason why I picked this was not only because you can see what works for other brands, but we can actually see how they do their automations to make this a lot easier. So here we are at mail charts, and we're gonna go through, let's talk about, let's go to our, where's it? Brand search here. And you can, like I said, you can see the different kinds of brands and who is on here. So let's look at our index. You can see all the brands who are basically participating in this. So we got Blue Apron, Pillsbury, Hallmark, Nike, and the list goes on and on. There's about 2,500 of these. And so if you do have a specific brand that you like, you can actually see how they work when it comes to email marketing. Let's go to, so let's go to Hallmark. I actually do like Hallmark, or at least my wife does. So you can see all their emails, how they design them. They're fairly easy, and they have multiple, calls to action, and how they set these up are actually kind of nice. They're fairly simple. Like I said, they also have some insights here. So, how many emails they send, how many people open them, how many promotional emails they send specifically for retail, what their subject lines look like, and we can talk about how we'll talk about how we can make subject lines in a little bit. But the big thing right here is going to be the campaigns. So just how I said that the automations don't need to be rocket science, this is basically proof that their email campaigns can be just as easy. So if you sign up for a free account, you can actually see what these welcome series actually look like. And you can also emulate some of these if you want them to be a little bit more tailored to your kind of industry, say for like e-commerce or some kind of purchasing. If you have a retail business, you can actually set these up so they can be more in line of how your customer is. So, like I said, really easy. Signing up is free, and you can get a lot more insights about how to create emails and also automations. So, next tool we're going to be talking about that I've mentioned before is going to be called Canva. So what's Canva? Canva is a graphics design tool that helps you create not only emails, but also all kinds of graphics. You can have, designs for a bunch of different templates, from newsletters to posters to PDFs to documents, all kinds of stuff. It also has a social media planning tool. So it's easy to sign up, and it's also free. And you do get some actual, designs for free. It's really robust. But if you want to pay for the subscription service to actually get access to more tools and to other things you can do, the social media planning tool is one of them. So I'll kind of talk about how that actually works with email marketing, because it's actually really kind of cool. But the other thing you can do is you can take advantage of some AI powered tools that Canva has specifically for their designs. So we can kind of talk about that as well. Let's go back to Canva, or let's go to Canva, and you can see we have a lot of designs. This is a peek under the hood of how we do all of our stuff here at the SBDC. But one of the things is, so I created that newsletter that you saw from on the 13th. This is the design for it. I rejigger all of my designs to basically create a kind of consistent kind of branding. So all the stuff looks almost exactly the same. We use our brand colors, we use all of our design stuff, and we basically just kind of iterate on top of that. Just doing that over and over and over again, because that's what people are used to. The really cool thing about that is that, like I said, you have a social media planning tool, if you were to pay for the subscription for Canva. And you can actually resize a lot of these designs. So here we have a thumbnail design that I created. Then if you want to post on your social media like Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or Pinterest or anything else, whatever other platform you're using, you can just change the design to meet those platform standards to make it easier for people to click on them. And we also have ones that we have, audio overviews and podcasts and things like that. But I can actually show you what we did. Let's see. Let's go down to Content Planner. And so this one, after I used the graphic design tool, I resized it. And this is what the post was. If you were on our social media, you can see what this post actually looks like. And this is all the information that I put there. We'll get into how I actually do that and to take things from one platform to another, especially from an email platform to something else, when we talk about the next few tools. But that's pretty much it. Canva is not only good for email marketing, but also just for graphic design in general. And you can basically iterate all your stuff over multiple different platforms to help you do things less. Because you're not a graphic design person in your business, you're just running their business and trying to market to as many people as possible. And so, if you need to hire somebody, but you could obviously do this yourself with very few kinds of tools and very inexpensively when it comes to stuff like this. Alrighty. So the next tool that we talk about is going to be what's called good email copy. So good email copy is a fairly simple website. And what it does is it gives you copy inspiration. So it shows you how other people have actually done their writing. So just how MailCharts shows the design portion of it, good email copy shows you how the writing portion of it works. And so what you can do is you can search different types of emails. And actually, let's show you what that actually looks like. So here is the website. And it's goodemailcopy.com, and it's just good copy. All it is that, you're just writing stuff. So if you want to take a look at this welcome email, here it is. And so you can actually, borrow from a lot of these different types of emails for inspiration and start making your own either welcome emails, thank you emails. You can search different things. So, if you want to create an upgrade email or confirmation, invitation, apology, all of these different types of emails, you can search here. And then you can also figure out, well, how do these people actually write them? And so it's really easy to get all of this stuff together and start working on creating better emails for your business and also stuff for, just email marketing in general. So this is a really good website for you to kind of take a look at if you are looking to know how to write a little bit better when it comes to email marketing. And the final one, speaking of emails and marketing and writing, we're going to be talking about ChatGPT. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the last 3 years, ChatGPT is an AI chatbot that helps you write. It does a lot more things, but specifically what it's known for is actually creating copy and content. And so what you can do is you can create what's called a prompt. It's a set of instructions or a program of how to write something. And you can do it of how to figure out stuff too, but specifically we're going to be talking about the writing part. And so what you have to understand is that one doesn't simply use ChatGPT. What that means is that you don't just type in instructions, hey, make me a welcome email. The simpler the instructions are, it's not going to necessarily translate into something that's going to be good. And I'll kind of show you what that actually looks like. But what you need to understand is that you can create what's called a formula or a prompt formula. And this is a specific way on how to create your instructions to make them a little bit better when it comes to what's called the output or the response. And so I'll actually show you, we'll demo it for you in just a bit. Because this is actually what most people who start with ChatGPT miss all the time. They just don't understand how this stuff works. They just assume, oh, this thing is really, really smart. It should be able to do it for me. That's not really how that works. And so the prompt formula that I'm going to share with you is really something simple. It's going to be 5 steps. We're going to give it a role. We want it to act as something. We're going to give it a task. This is what this is what we want it to do. The next thing is going to be audience. This is who the readers are going to be, and we'll explain who that is. The next thing is going to be the tone or the style. How do we want it to write? And then the last thing is going to be the format. How do we want the format to actually look like? In some cases, it'll be like a subject, a headline, and some kind of paragraph of copy. So this is the basic kind of, framework for the prompt formula that I just gave you. Again, we're going to tell it to act as a copywriter. That's the role. We're going to tell it write this kind of email, and we're going to explain what kind of email it needs to be and what the purpose of the email is going to be. We're going to tell it what kind of audience the readers are going to be, who they are, what they do, maybe what they're looking for. This is where, when it comes to marketing, knowing who your customer is going to be really, really important. Knowing those demographics, knowing those psychographics. The next thing is going to be the tone and the style. So how do I want to write it? Do I want it to write it informative, authoritative, persuasive for a good sales email? And how do I want the tone? Do I want it to be snarky, or do I want it to be helpful? Do I want it to be casual, like if I'm talking to a friend? And then the format is going to be how I want the basically the email to look. Most of the time, you're going to want something that's going to be a header, a subject line, a header, and some kind of copy. So let's show you what that actually looks like. This is the actual prompt formula that we're going to use, and I'm going to show you the good way to do it and the bad way to do it. And so right now, like I said, we're going to say, act as an expert copywriter. We're going to write a persuasive sales email. That's what we're going to do to convince my reader to purchase my business consulting services. And you can basically describe whatever your business is so you can kind of work this in. My audience is going to be small business owners who need help with operating their business, and that's what I'm going to be helping them with. The style of the email is going to be persuasive, and I told it I'm going to use a specific copywriting framework. You don't have to do this, but this makes it a little bit more specific when it comes to how I want it to actually write. And then the tone is going to be professional, but I want it to be helpful, a little bit more empathetic. And then the format is going to be in the form of a subject line, which is going to be what is going to be the subject of an email, the header, which is going to be a headline, and then some copy. So then let's bounce to ChatGPT. And then, so let's do a little experiment. What I'm going to do is going to say, write me a welcome email. So it says it's a polished and engaging welcome email. So say, hey, welcome, let's get started. Thrilled to have you here. Briefly, here's what you can expect from us. And it gives us these checkboxes, but it doesn't give us anything for this. If we were to copy and paste this, the person would be like, but what is this? I don't understand. And the reason why is because you need to give it context. You need to show it something. So let's put in my prompt. And let's see what it does. So here's the subject line, here's the header, and here's the information that I might have. So if I were a consultant, I would probably use something like this to send to a client to have them work with me. And then I would give them their information on how to contact me. And that's it. This is a lot better than this is because it doesn't give you a lot of information. This does. You can give it more information with the prompt, but that's all you really need to do. It gets you about 80 to 90% of the way there, and you would just add in the details. So ChatGPT is a really good way to actually get all of this stuff, just like the good email copy. You can say, hey, write me a welcome email. You can give it a few, copy and paste a few of those welcome emails and say, use these as examples. And it can actually create something similar to that so that you can use them for your welcome emails. So you can use, what is it, Canva to design everything. And then you can use ChatGPT to wordsmith it all. And this took what, maybe 5-10 seconds to write all this stuff. And so all you have to do is copy, paste, design it all up, and there you go. And now you've built a bunch of emails for you to actually work on and to start sending out. So that's pretty much it. Again, email marketing is not just another task on your to-do list. It's a powerful tool that you can help build relationships, increase sales, and grow your business. Especially with all of these tools, they can be done on autopilot when it comes to automations and everything. Now, you have a kind of clear strategy on how to create your first campaign. I showed you the tools that you needed to. It's time for you to kind of take the first step. Now, remember, consistency is going to be the key when it comes to email marketing. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is going to take a long time to start building your list, sending out emails, and start getting feedback so you can start growing your business. And every email is going to be an opportunity for you to connect with your audience and drive your business forward. So that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining. But one more thing. Let's take a look at our pitch. So if you are watching this on Zoom and you are already registered for this webinar, you're already a client. If you want to get help with any one of our consultants to help you with email marketing, you can do that by giving us a call at 909-448-1567, and you can schedule an appointment to meet with one of our consultants to help you start doing all of the things that we talked about in this marketing webinar. If you're watching this on like social media or on YouTube or anywhere else, you're not yet a client. So what you can do is you can register as a client at www.lavernesbdc.org/new client. And it'll take you to a page that looks like this. You press the red Get Started button, and you can sign up as a client, just putting a little bit of information about your business or the business you're looking to start. And we will get a notification to give you a call to schedule that appointment, just as if you were a client, which you now are. So thanks for watching. I know we ran a little bit long, but it was great information. We will send you the recording and all the links to everything we talked about here today. We'll send it to you by an email. And in the next webinar, Sean will go over doing financial projections. We'll do that in 2 weeks. So if you haven't, register then. But thanks for watching, and then we will see you in the next one.